And now we're going to our second speaker, Edgars Strods. Are you here somewhere? Yeah. Yes, yes, no? Okay, come. He will be talking about social game market and what could we expect from it in the next few future years and so on. So, welcome Edgars. He will turn on his presentation. Do you need the microphone?
No.
Okay, cool.
I just need it.
So then, 1 second. Still, if you want a beer, you can get it there. If you need these, then there.
It's second week with a new Mac, so I just don't know how to use it. I'll just stick it like this. Well, if you know, my name is Edgars Strods. I'm head of gaming department at Nākošais, one of the major players in Russia and in Eastern European social networks. Like a bit of Nākošais, which is located in Russia and in Latvia also. We have 3 offices, one in Moscow, one in St. Petersburg, one in Riga, main development office. We have 32 million daily active users, and right now we have the title Best Social Game Platform in Eastern Europe by data.ru. A bit of topics I would like to start with is numbers, about the players, and a bit of future. I think will be the most interesting part. Let's start with the most important graphic here is a market value for the 2009, 2010, and so on. If you can see that 2009 was like only one game, which so-called Счастливый фермер or Lucky Farmer from iJet. And if we are going to trust those rumors, only iJet got $20 million just by themselves. In 2010, Nākošais and Mail.ru got their own API, and the market is started to grow quite fast. In 2011, it was more than $200 million the market value, and expectations about 2012 is more than 300 millions of US dollars. And if we are looking at the graphics, our internal graphics, it looks like we are going to pass much more higher than 340 million. Nevertheless, with the social networks in 2009 and 2008, 2009 was like the platform for messaging each other and to share some information, to share some photos. Right now, the social network is a huge platform for the audience, for the information sharing. That you can just click it up, you can spend like, click like, and all your friends got everything you liked. You click share, and everybody see that you like and share all this expected article on some website. And so the audience also growing very fast. In 2011, 54 million of daily active users have at least one account in Russia. So this is like Kontakte, Nākošais or Mail.ru. And if we have almost 70 million of users, we have to provide them any kind of entertainment. And of course, it's games. Games is the best possible entertainment in the world. So, iJet, Mail.ru, Progress Star, and then small companies in 2009 have had a bit of. They got all those installs came from the Kontakte. And then you can see that when Nākošais showed up in 2010 and 2011, those numbers grew huge amount. Right now we have over 1 billion of installs in our network and over 2 billion of monthly launched games. So the companies who started, not all of them switched, not all of them survived to 2011. Market is very fast, it's very dangerous. Talking about the users, if we see this, unfortunately, we contacted did not show all the numbers, so we tried to find almost like objective numbers. We had like internal sources and so on. All these games are from 2 or 3 companies. This is daily active users for top games on Nākošais. 1,400,000 person daily plays Novi Zemlja, so-called. And if we see that's more than 2 times better than on anyone else is playing. If I don't have the numbers of the monthly active users on the slides, I can share this information. Over 25 million of unique users are playing games on Nākošais each month, and this number is growing very fast. And if you have some nice numbers, I think we can talk about the games. More than 200 developers, and most of them are just one title companies. Why? That's because you start the game, it's successful. Oh, I got the money, I'll just start another one. And then something is not working correctly, but you got your budget all filled, and then you got your budget just thrown away, and you don't have any money anyway. So you have only one title. It's like for the company named Dreamy. In 2010, they got huge amount of money, and right now they are just like top 20 company in Russia, and so-called iJet. Like back to these slides. Like iJet had 27 million in 2011. They got nothing. And that's why, because most companies have only one title, all the market is controlled by 10% of developers. Talking about the genres and competition and so on. Yes, farms still rules, but we cannot say that pure farm mechanics still rules. It's a mixed up with the RPG, with some MMOs, with farming and so on. Great experience, like from recently, Anatoly have launched recently Rule of Kingdom. So you have the farm part, you have the RPG part, as the quest part. So it's all mixed up. All genres, speed, something like RPG, as I said, MMO and strategy, hidden objects, everything's already on social network. And recently, games are just starting to grow, and it's incredibly. And in fact, I don't understand why, because you cannot win anything. You're just spending your money. But they're #1 right now on the App Store. They're #1 on Google Play, and in fact, they're very popular on Nākošais also. This one slide, I would like to speak a little bit more about this slide. When 2009, it was a year of clones. It was Clone Wars. It was like copycats, and many companies got their reputation screwed up. Like this company is out of business. Because if you are creating your clones, if you are looking at the game and you're trying to copy it and clone it as it is, you don't understand why this was done, like because of the virality, because of the monetization, why monetization works, why the virality works. You just don't understand this, because there's a huge research about how users use your game, how user is, when your user is paying, you have to think about this before you're creating the game. And if you're just cloning the client, and you don't understand what is going underneath, then you're just failing. That's why all these hopes of getting rich very fast right now is practically unbelievable. as I said, we have only 10% of the leaders, which is controlling 90% of my market. But if we're looking a bit more and a bit carefully about this, there's a low competition between the leaders. We have 3 or 4 companies like Social Quantum, Larium with these great strategy games on social networks. But that's it. We have the Crazy Panda with 3 or 5 titles. So that's it. We have 3 top companies, and then everyone else is like 1 title. If you're creating a great company, create the game much more better, collect the money or gain someone else, go with publisher, and then you can push them over. And yeah, top 20 games, a normal share of the market. If you are thinking about this, this is only for the Russia, or it's only for the Eastern European, from the Ukraine and so on. It's not that. All the game developers and all the game publishers except Zynga is on Nākošais. Platon, Digital Chocolate, and so all these names you maybe know about, read about in TechCrunch, they all are on Nākošais. Luckily, Russian developers and Eastern European developers know market very well. Well, an example, if you're launching the game Enemy, what was the game like? Enemies and Allies from the Zynga, yeah? Yeah, Enemies and Allies. When you're fighting like blue guys against the red guys, it just doesn't work on Russia, just because the red guys are great guys. And you have to localize the game. So that's why all these games are great, but they're not working in the region. You have to think about the mentality. So that's like the game called Prison. If you're looking at the Prison in Russia, it's a wow, cool game. I think everyone sees it in TVs. Like Prison is great. Just try something else in the US. It's really nuts. And the other thing I would like to speak is a global market. If you're launching a game only in English, and you're thinking about if it would be like in French or in Russia or in Hindi or whatever else, it's not like an extra anymore. It's a global market. And Eastern European is also a global market. So 300 million dollars you provide us. A bit of future. I think everyone knows about those devices. This presentation from the February, it's an old iPhone, it's not the 4S. I think the mobile expansion is the next big thing. I think it's not the next big thing. It is a big thing right now. All the e-commerce and the other types of applications like education advertising, education and something else like other non-gaming are going to grow fast. And nevertheless, the competition between the social networks. Like if you, Nākošais right now is number 2 in Russia, and the VKontakte is number 1 in Russia. But the competition is like on 3 or 4 million daily active users, which is approximately 7% of daily active users. And we're finding like if we're going to be number 1, or the VKontakte is going to be number 1. That is great news for developers. New APIs, greater things like statistics and tools, internal tools, and so on. And yes, the evolution of advertising. Right now, it's not the thing you're creating the game. You have to advertise. You have to think about if I'm going to spend like $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 just for advertising, it's not enough. You have to count every single cent. You have to think about this quite good. And yes, social networks like 2009 was just the farms. So just the small games like the flash games without any layout and so on. Right now there's a huge complex games like strategy, with the thousands of millions of daily active users fighting each other. They're building their bases, they're creating some clans and so on. Consolidation in players, I mean the consolidation in developers. If you have only one team, you have to be strong. Time is going, so you have to consolidate, you have to think about it. Maybe we're going to work together. Maybe you are good in design, we are good in monetization. Maybe we are good in virality, and we are good in design. You have to combine these skills together. Times when you can just launch a single flash game without any design, good design, just it's fast. And yes, PC games and social. I think that's Sims is already on social networks. So PC is coming like quite slow, but they're coming. So thank you. I have 5 minutes of questions.
Yes, that was why I was coming here to ask the audience if you have any questions for Edgars about his presentation or anything similar.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Well, so I see you have an investor speaker, right?
Yes, because I'm...
So, could you please tell a bit more about the investment aspect?
Well, Mail.ru have the publishers. Mail.ru are publishers for the game companies, like for mobile companies and mobile games, and for the social games also. So that's why I have this badge. If you would like to know about anything about this, so they have the great experience. I would like to show you this one. Like this list Mail.ru have right now on social networks. Over than 154 millions of installs. It's a huge base of users. So you can use them.
Is Mail.ru and Одноклассники the same?
Одноклассники.ru is a part of Mail.ru group. Well, it will be much more interesting. Roberts will share T-shirts if you ask the question.
I need 3 more questions, please.
Yeah.
What about OneLV? It's still functional. I think it's functional.
Well, in fact, we are from the OneLV.
Yes,
it was
I know.
like close to 2 years
but
ago.
It's still, you can log in and still play all these games.
No.
No?
We don't have APIs. We have 4 games for these from the CTX.
Okay, so you have to create an account to Одноклассники, but
Of course.
but
If you have
OneLV
30,
doesn't.
no.
But
If you have
account
32
count or
millions or
something like
100
that.
millions, just or 100,000, it's
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to launch a game on Latvian, at least initially to get initial audience. What about Mail.ru and Contact? Because our company has been really unsuccessful. And, well, any hints or tips doing something, launching games and those networks?
well. Right now, they've conducted change to the catalog. They have so-called new section, which is only with, I think, like 10,000 rubles, and then you are in. I don't know about the traffic. They're trying hard to beat us in this section, yeah, in this market. If I'm talking about the tips, I would like to think that advertising. That's first impression in advertising. First impression, if you get a great first impression, then you can use the advertising. If you see that your retention, daily retention, is incredibly low, there's no need of advertising. So look at your retention. That's it.
I have one question. I really want to talk about if we have a published game but it's doing poorly exactly in terms of monetizing. Can you give some kind of advice or tips or that?
Well, I was talking in Russia in Society Roxanne in the Casual Connect about the monetization issues and so on. I think it's much more better to speak with the guys from the game development. I agree with your game. Unfortunately, yeah, it's not earning as I would like to. Because if you are earning great money, we are earning also.
but we still can discuss something. Maybe you have some kind of ideas what to do, or you don't have it.
Right now I don't have, because I don't know about the game.
Yeah. So there was a question also, and there was a question.
Sorry mates, t-shirts are there, so.
Are you only specializing in publishing using your network, so you also, if you have like already product in some other platforms, do you provide some publishing options for Russia?
For me, not. I'm not a publisher. Melted True is a publisher.
It's just.
Yeah, but they are publishing on the mobile platforms. They're publishing on the social networks and different other.
And is it possible if we contact with you?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Edgars, a question about retention. A huge thing that you didn't mention. What is top 1, 3, 7-day retention and Nākošais for best titles?
Well, we're not counting retention as many guys you're counting, just because of our internal services, our internal things of. If I remember correctly, it was like 30, 27, like daily, weekly, monthly.
Okay, the last question, and the time's over. So, cool.
Okay, I have one more question about paying people. Actually, like a year ago, there was a rumor that only the whales are paying the people who put in big cash, and then the companies monetize them. Is it still true, or there are also small payers now in the market?
Well, not. Whales are earning approximately 20% of the money right now on our Nākošais.
So basically, it's actually good now to put the prices lower so everyone can afford.
Check about how much is one SMS, which is pretty often way of paying for your goods. And if you are trying to match this price, like SMS price, with the product price on your game, so you can find it much more better.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's give a big round of applause to Edgars.